If your phones are down, so
Well, welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the talk show that, on a shadow of a doubt, that the so-called person that you call African, Negro, Black, Colored, Nigga, Jigaboo, Shine, all those connotations, those people aren't from anywhere on the planet but from here in America. And that's what we're trying to do here at African America Ain't African, is to show you that the people that are called those things are the indigenous people of America. A lot of you may not get it because you were trained to think a certain way, trained to do a certain thing. You went to school, you went to church, so you think a whole different way. You don't see it how I see it. You don't see it how a lot of people see it. And tonight we're going to get into that because this is what African Americans and Africans ain't doing. We going around parts of the country and we showing and letting the people who live in those parts of the country let you know how it is where they live, the reality. These are the brothers who are on the streets. These are the brothers that give healing to people from all walks of life. They take some of the natural resources and make medicines from them. They do stuff in their area, but they are alone because we are not together. Some of us want to be this, some of us want to be that. We want to pretend that we're a character that somebody wrote down, and we're not that. We are why all these people are coming over here. We are why all these sisters are coming up missing. We are why our children are going to these, because you are a natural resource. And so we're going to get into that tonight. So I want to introduce my guest. Been knowing this brother for a long time. He's been on the program before. Hasn't been in a couple of years because he always tell me, man, we're too far apart. We're too far apart. We need more. We need to be working in cohesion. And we just don't have the people, because most of the people that are with us don't think that they are a part of this land. That's why they give us all these titles, to pull you away from the land. You can't do anything on the land. So we're going to talk about that tonight and show us how to connect ourselves back to the land. I want to welcome my guest, Teacher Tia Tiwakan. What's going on, brother?
Good evening. I would like to say good evening, good morning to all of the listeners out there. It's time once again for us to connect with the ones who are conscious. And again, hello to all of our listeners and all those out there.
So I see you guys in the chat. You guys welcome. Hey, if you want to send some questions or ask some questions of what the brother's talking about, please do. Do me a favor. Make them in all capital letters if you're going to ask a question. That way they'll stand out. Okay, and I now know to ask them. They'll catch my eye more. So the name of this program tonight is the Regeneration of the Earth. The Regeneration of the Earth. And we need to hear this. We need to hear this because we are Earth people. So those of you who are not into this, give this to somebody you know who is into this. We are part of the Earth. So this brother's going to run down how the Earth is regenerated, our part in it. I'm going to shut up and let him get busy.
Peace, Halito. I don't want to come to boring of y'all with any continuous rhetoric or become a talking head, because it's serious. And it's serious enough for me to try to take out a little of my time, which I know is crucial in the process of me getting myself together on a higher level of vibration. But those who are still out there might be a few that are left. You're coming, but you're a little slow. Time is limited. It's very limited, and we don't have much time. So that's why we're here tonight, to try to let those who are conscious know it has begun. It has begun.
Now, when you say it has begun, could you elaborate?
Well, it meaning a force that we can't see. We haven't yet to understand it, but those that are in power, they know. They are observing this force on all levels as we speak. They are trying to counterbalance this force with many type of uh, uh, inventions. CERN is one of them. As the Earth go through its rebalancing cycles, they are trying to stop it from doing what it's doing by inventing these uh, earth-changing devices to recreate the weather and recreate the magnetic field. But it's not going to work. It's not going to work. The regeneration of the earth has begun.
So the regeneration of Earth, I realize that we're created from the Earth. We are some of the species who live upon the Earth. What does that mean for the people who know that, well, at least I am a part of the Earth, and are pulling away from that paradigm, that city, walking on concrete, living an artificial life? What does it mean for those people who's caught up in that artificial way of life?
Okay. But I want to get to the first one about us and how we fit in. I think that was the first question, or the first. How do we fit in with this thing? The earth birthed us for a reason, for a purpose. It's just like when you birth a child. The child's supposed to be birthed to achieve a purpose in life, to leave his mark in whatever way that is on the from the family's perspective, as well as his time on this earth. So the earth birthed us to fulfill a certain purpose. Now that purpose is, I'm not going to even get into that, but in the process of the earth bringing us forth, we are all connected to the vibrational fields, to everything that the earth has to offer. We are connected to it. You know, and I say this all the time with the trees. The trees come forth from the earth and it gives us oxygen, and we give the trees something back. It's a real intimate relationship that we have with these things, that with all living things on the earth. So I want to take you here. At one point in time, everything was about life. Now everything is about death. And anything that once it runs its course, once it runs its full course, it has a birth date and a death date. That's what all things in this paradigm that we live in. So a thing is born, it lives, it serves its purpose, and then it dies out. There's been several generations, several worlds before this one. But as with this world and all the worlds before it, it was born, it rose, and then it fell. Because somehow the vibrational existence of the people did not jive with the earth. And the earth has a way of getting rid of all things that are not a part of it. Same way if you have a cold or a flu or some type of cancer cell growing in your body, you want them to give you something that's going to target that particular cell to destroy it. The earth is the same way. It's getting ready to make a shift. It's vibrating at an enormous rate, which some of these people are not able to even process the vibrational information. It's too much for the brain. It's too much for the electrical system. They're on overload. So therefore, you may go into the store, and next thing you know, you might be in a massive fight, all out brawl with somebody you don't even know. For the simple fact, they're on a whole different vibration than you. They can sense it, they can feel it, just like you can sense it and feel it from them. These people are going to lose their mind. They will literally lose their minds because they have failed to fulfill their purpose. Therefore, they are not understanding what their purpose is and why they are here.
That's interesting that you're saying this, because today I was just talking to a cat about 5G. So when you say vibration, what is 5G and all of those other things like 5G, the things that they're bringing out now, the things that are being saturated, the different wires going up in cities and stuff, how they're wiring these places? What impact does that have on the people who are the natural people of the earth?
The 5G system was created by beings that are not of this world, not of this earth. This system is for their communication, which ultimately shuts down all other forms of communication, meaning the electrical systems that travel from brain to brain, which is what they call thought. These systems, these electrical systems that we use as Aboriginal people, people of the earth, we are able to do the same thing with our minds, communicate, because people still do it. You know, the old saying, speak of the devil, we just was talking about you. You know why you were just talking about them? Because their energy was on the way there before they got there. So therefore, they were thinking about that area and the situation that they were getting ready to go to, and y'all picked up on it. And that means y'all start talking about them because they were already on the way. So, in understanding that, that means that we are able to send out energy one to another. So, this energy that we have failed to use now is being overtaken by a false energy that they need to communicate, which leaves you where? Out without a medium to communicate with. Your means of communication that which this electrical impulses travel will be disrupted, because the earth is birthing children that has these gifts. Therefore, they got to step up the energy in order to counteract it. Our kids are being born with wonderful gifts now. Wonderful gifts of mind, thought, and spirit. So therefore, the other forces have to step the game up in order to counteract that.
So these kids that are being born today, as a community of people, as people, when we come across children, and what we hear going on with children in America is appalling. What should the people who are conscious, the people who see kids around and around the towns with their mothers and stuff, what should we be saying to the children or the mothers or whatever? Because they may not be knowing of it.
At this point, don't say anything to them. Now you may say, "Oh, why not? We're supposed to be reaching out." But I mean, it's a different game now. What people need to understand, you can't reach out to everybody because everybody is not serving that purpose to be able to make it to the other side, to be able, if you were to start up a whole new generation of people, what would you choose? Who would you choose to start this generation all over again? What type of personality would you want them to have? Some of these people, their thought processes are not usable. You can't use it because they are unable to vibrate on that higher level, which is the age that we have entered into. They are not able to make that transition. So therefore, don't say anything to them. You have to be able to pick and choose. Don't you will find yourself in a bad situation with people and you don't want to be in it. You don't want to be in it. I'm only talking to the conscious people because it's a lot of people that's going to have to be wiped off of the earth. They can't remain. They won't be able to remain because they are not serving the earth as they were put here for. So therefore, the earth has to eliminate them.
Now, in the so-called Black, African American, Negro communities, the people that I normally associate with, what does that mean for that group of people? From what you see now as you go throughout the city and doing what you do, what vibration would you say that that group of people is vibrating on?
Well, most of all the people that we see, well, I retract that. A large majority of the people that we come in contact with are not on things pertaining to the astral body, the ethereal body. It's about the physical body. We are mind, body, and spiritual beings. Most people are not even concerned with the spiritual or the astral part of their existence. Therefore, they have replaced that with cell phones, jewelry, clothes. Men and women relationships have replaced everything that regards and relates to the ethereal body or the spiritual existence. So where there's an opening, it's going to fill up with something. So therefore, they are filling up this space with dead things, which makes them a dead soul, a walking dead soul, or a walking dead entity. But I want to tell you, we have to survive. We have to survive. If you want to survive, if you want to make it to the other side, when the earth starts to overturn itself, when everything that's on the bottom turns to the top and the top turns to the bottom, and I mean the skies will come to the earth and they will touch it just like you reach down and touch the earth. When these things occur, most of people will die just out of fear itself. But it will happen. This will happen. And those people that's out there, hey, God said, and zombies out here. And they're going to be zombies out there too, because they will have no electrical impulses to send them to do what's right. They will be on overload, on shutdown. When your computer overloads and it goes blank, you got to reboot it. You got to restart it. The computer came from our existence. It wasn't nothing created. It was created from our own existence. So when you reboot that computer, to you, sister, brother, that's death. There's no rebooting for you. It's the regeneration. It's shut down. The earth will provide only certain places where it will not send out these negative vibrations that will destroy most every living thing on it. like it has done 4 times before. And there will be a total of 7 regenerations before everything has to reach its pinnacle to go into that level, into space, into the beyond, into the solar systems, into other realms of existence, far beyond what we know, far beyond what they know. You can only travel it through your astral body.
You were talking earlier about where body, mind, and spirit. Before we get to this, let me hit this. When you say the earth is regenerating, give us an example of where on earth that we can see where it has regenerated before. And I want to give you one first. Let me give you mine first. Right there in the Caribbean, where those islands, that used to be one giant landmass. You can tell just if you take glass bottom boat trips down there, you can see what it that place sunk. Is that what you mean by regeneration? Part of it, something like that happening?
Yes, exactly. Some of the greatest civilizations known to man are underwater. They have been cleansed. Atlantis, many others. The earth had to cleanse itself because they had got to a point they had created all of this technology. Do you think that these people have the greatest technology known to man? This stuff here that you see now is nothing but child's play compared to the first world, the second world, or even the third world. This technology has been around since the beginning of mankind, since the ones came from the outer reaches of our solar system and joined unto us, whom the earth birthed. And these energies intertwined with each other. Now that's a whole nother story. But in order for the earth to be able to go back to that Garden of Eden, it has to eliminate some people. I'm sorry to tell you, but a lot of y'all got to go. You got to go. And you know, I say my goodbyes now. I say them now. Because while you're enjoying your nice little cars and your couches that they killed all the trees to make your wood grain and your floors and all your stuff, guess what? You got to give it back. You got to give it up. The earth has been, her guts have been ripped out enough to make all these cell phones and computers and all of this technology. The sand, enough sand has been sucked out of the oceans. Enough to make all these buildings and roads and everything to send the earth in a counterbalance. The earth is in a counterbalance. It's wobbling. We can't. Now they want to spray the skies, which you already know, to keep us from seeing this drastic wobble in our stars and in our solar system, in our position in our solar system. So they keep it cloudy. And now it's getting so bad till the storms are overwhelming the people. But guess what? That's part of the madness. That's part of the earth sending out vibrations to make them do exactly what it wants them to do. That's not a new game that the armies have played on each other. Trickery, deceivery, to make you think one thing and it's actually another one. That was, they talk about it all the time. Wag the dog. Hey, those who are conscious know that story. So the earth is sending out, yes, vibrations to them. Do this, and you'll get reprieve, and this will solve this problem. And guess what? They are doing it for their own self-destruction. So don't be mad when you see them put nuclear plants on the shoreline, because that's the plans of the regeneration of the earth. They quit talking about Fukushima. They still haven't found the cause. The Pacific is dead. The ocean is dead. There's nothing out there alive. Nothing. And when you get through with the volcanoes going off to poison the atmosphere and the oceans, goodbye. So a lot of people are going to have to leave from here.
Yeah, I've noticed these horrible catastrophes over the years, and somehow, if a new TV show comes on, we'll forget all about it. You talked about Fukushima, that disaster. What about the oil spill down in the Gulf? That's something that we don't talk about, and I know it's affecting us now. You can tell by the way the people are behaving that you just spilling, you're destroying the oceans, and that part of the oceans is dead. And what will happen to those people who live in that area? So when he's talking about regeneration, this is no joke, y'all.
Those who don't know who I am T'Challa Teotihuacan, son of Khan. The spirit I hold is thousands of years old. And there are children that are being birthed right now that are bringing back the spirit of the days and the ancestors of old. Because they are going to be the ones that regenerate this earth. So those people that passed on, they passed, but they were never dead. The earth is circular. It cycles. It turns upon itself. It repeats itself. Everything that was new is new again. Everything that is old again. It's all the same. There is no new and old. It's all the same. It's just regeneration. Going back to its original form before it was all destroyed by humans. They have the hue of men, but they are not men. They are not of this earth. And we have been fooled and tricked by their technology. But I want to tell you something. Anybody ever seen the movie The Predator? He always hid in the trees. Now, I don't get into religion. I just connect the dots. Now, in the Bible, I'm not finna thump no Bible. All you finna, oh, he talking about the Bible. Connect the dots, people. When the Lord God, so-called Lord God, according to their story, walked into the garden, he asked his creation, where are you? He said, where are you? Where were they hiding? Amongst the trees. You see the story? It's all the same. It just slightly changes. Amongst the trees. Why? When you take it symbolically and back to its esoteric knowledge, trees were symbolic of human beings. I'm not a Bible thumper. They just took our information and twisted it to fit their bill. We are the trees.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Human trees. Trees that can walk around. I've heard that many times. What are we to do now? Because a lot of us see that this is coming. A lot of us are seeing the breakdown. Well, one of the things that a lot of people talk about is this Trump impeachment thing. That's peanuts compared to what's going on. What should we be focused on now?
A lot of people are going to say, hey, I can't do that. you're going to have to give it up. You're going to have to give up everything that you know and love. What?
Got to give it up. Keep on dancing.
Your president told him, you got to give it up. You can't have it. Get over it. What was he talking about? Now, see, I'm going to stir up something tonight. He told him, he said, give it up. You can't keep it. Get over it. Now, those who are conscious knows what he's talking about. You can't keep it. You got to give it up. They say no. All right. That's an energy. That's a vibration that's on the earth. You got to give something up. In order to be able to receive the bigger picture, the bigger piece of the pie, you got to give something up. All of this stuff that's keeping you blocked. How many of y'all go into spiritual meditations to see who you really are? So that's just beginners. It takes months and years to develop yourself. You just can't do this overnight. That's why I say, and I don't mean any harm. But will it be you? Will it be me? Will it be mom? Will it be uncle? But it's gonna be some people that's got to leave this earth. And I'm not talking about the rapture. That's what you've been told. I'm not talking about the rapture. You're gonna have to leave here. Because there's something that you sold your soul to that you didn't understand what you were doing, which sent you off of your spiritual vibration, which caused you to cling and hold to something that brought you death instead of life. So if you say, well, hey, there's no hope, there is. There is hope. There is. You know how there's hope? For all those, it's hope because you're on this channel right now. You're on here right now. That means there's hope. So what do you focus on? I'm talking to these ears and these energies that are in this chat. I'm talking to you. What do you do? I'm going to tell you what you do.
Listen, here at African Americans Ain't Africans, we try to bring you information that some shit you can use. We don't have time to fuck the people over. We don't have no time to try to fucking dig in your pockets. Listen to what this brother's saying. And all y'all know he ain't bullshitting. And you know what's up. See, we ain't got no excuse how we don't know, because we do know. And so this brother's gonna share some information with you to tell you what you can do, some of the things that you can do, some of the questions that ask, because this brother does it off the hook. I mean, this dude do shit. I'd be like, damn, dude. And like I say, I'm in Memphis now, and he's one in a million. And these are the kind of brothers we should have little schools teaching our sons how to do solar work. How come we're not doing solar work? How come we're not taking part? Why aren't we doing that? Why aren't these schools, these historically black colleges and universities teaching solar, teaching our kids solar? You got Shaq trying to sell pizza to the black college and universities. This is the shit we own. We playing. So I'm gonna let this brother go. Call your family. Call seriously. People who need to get this information. This is the kind of holiday shit you give them. This is what you share with them. Just listen to the brother. And you know he ain't bullshitting. You know he ain't. I'm gonna go ahead and give it back to him. If you have any questions, ask the questions in all capital letters. Ask the questions in all capital letters, because we're sharing this computer and I can't see. So please send, if you got any questions, you got some questions for the brother, send them and we'll get to them. Thanks.
I'm gonna try and look at the messages, but I come straight from my soul. Therefore, I can't cloud it with too many things. Because when the ancestors speak, I speak what I'm given. Therefore, if I read what's going on in the chat room, I'm not able to focus in on the energies that's being poured into me. If you can understand what I'm saying, I don't mean no harm, but I left off at I'm going to give you what to do. You're interested in saving yourself from what's getting ready to happen. You go get in a dark room. See that's going to eliminate about 50% of the people right there, because all the movies showed you that in the darkness was the boogeyman, was the terror. No, in the darkness is where you meet up with your ethereal body on the plane of zero existence. And I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. When you go into your quiet room, your dark room, and you get in your totally relaxed position, you close your eyes and you eliminate all thought. Now that's going to eliminate quite a few more, because there's so many thoughts going through the mind till it's almost impossible to get to a thoughtless position. But if by chance you can close your eyes and make it to where nothing is going through your mind except existing in that place and in that time. That's it. I exist. I am. You will begin to relax the eyeballs, because the eyeballs are always focusing on trying to look at something. You will feel your eyeballs if it's working. If you're in that position where I'm talking about and you're following what I'm saying, your eyeballs begin to relax and you start not to focus on anything. Meaning that it's nothing there but ether, darkness. And if you wait a little longer and you're vibrating on a comfortable vibration of relaxation, you will begin to see pictures that only you are supposed to see. You will begin to see faces, places, and things that only you are supposed to see. And these people, places, and things will tell you what you need to know. Not who shot John, what's on the picture show that happened last week, what's going on with my neighbors next door. None of that. It doesn't have time for that. What it has time for is to tell you how to get to that next world. You're trying to get to that next world. A lot of people say the Bible stands for basic information before leaving earth. Yes, but I don't say you get it from the Bible. You get it from your ethereal body. Everything that you need to know is already in you. You were born with it. It took thousands of years to get you to who you are. It's already there. Slow down. Get into a quiet place. Go to a quiet place. Get to the point of zero existence. Don't think about anything. Nothing. But just being in that place. because you are there waiting on instruction. Not to give instruction, but to be given instruction. And if you're patient and your vibrations are right, something is going to come and deal with you and talk with you and give you what you need to know. Most people are going to be eliminated in the first run of this test. And believe it or not, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. It's all a matter of choice. It's all a matter of choice. But you hear the people talking about go to your prayer closet. Well, go on to your prayer closet, but make sure you turn the light off. In the upper room with Jesus. Listen, so you hear what he said about when you go in and you the space and time and you and all those thoughts out your mind, that shit works. But also remember this too. When you do that, now you're in the darkness, but out in your light, you'll start to notice that the people around you will start to change. That's how you know it works. Because the people you pick up with, you starting to change. You're trying to change. You're trying to do things that you've never done before. So you're starting to leave the things alone that you once did, and you're moving into another realm. You're moving into another vibration. I'm telling you, it's cool as you're doing it and as you're watching it. It's cool. So this brother's sharing some nuggets with you guys. Please write this stuff down. Listen to this past this blog talk on, because this different kind of information needs to be shared. We have to share. We have to know things like this. We can't just be knowing the score of the basketball game or what the new movie, how much money hit. That's bullshit. This brother's giving you some nuggets, you guys. This is our gift to you. Get with yourself. Know who you are. This brother's telling you everything. Everything. That's why I tell you, African Americans ain't Africans. Damn. Everything he's telling you about that other world, that's connected to the land. The minerals in the land. That's yours, but you don't want it. You want to believe something else. You want to believe what another motherfucker say. You won't even listen to yourself. We can't go that way no more. We can't do it, y'all. It don't work. So turn it back over to the brother, and I'm enjoying this just as much as you guys are. You may wonder, well, what will I see once I get to that point? You have gotten to your quiet room. You have closed your eyes. You have eliminated all of that thought out of your mind of bills, child going to school and cheating wives and husbands. It's going to eliminate a lot of folks. But once you get to that point where you eliminate all of those thoughts, where you're in that zero thought process and you are at that zero point of existence, look for pictures. Now you said pictures? Yes. With your eyes closed and in a dark room, you can see. You can see. A lot of people say, how can you see? Trust me. You can see. You will see a lot of people that you didn't know that you could see. And they will give you knowledge of wisdom on decisions that you can make in order to prepare you to get out of this situation that you are in, to cross over to that new situation. that new vibration, that new sense of awareness. These pictures that you will see will be just like images that you see on a projector screen. Some may see other things slightly different, but these are just like pictures that you will see on a screen. You will be able to make out faces. You will be able to make out what they're wearing. But these are nothing but extensions of yourself. They're not hocus pocus or jumbo or some evil entity. These are extensions of your inner self.
Cam Gaming DBD. Don't go. What's your questions? Type your questions in all capital letters. We're trying to get everything, but the way we have it set up is kind of hard to get to. Ask your questions. All capital letters. Thank you, and put a question mark behind it so we'll know it's a question. All right.
In the process of doing this, fear. Don't allow fear to creep in. Most people fear. You don't have anything to fear. Anything to fear. But what you're able to see within your own selves.
Before we go, listen, I'm going to have teacher give you his contact information for all of you guys who have questions. If you want to ask him questions, you can go directly to him, because I'm not seeing, I see a lot of people asking questions, but I don't know if they're questions or not. So teacher, could you give them your email address or something where they can contact you and you can keep going?
Okay, my email is tttcon, KHANCHO.o@gmail.com. TTTKHAN, CHO.o@gmail.com. TTTKHNCHO.o@gmail.com. I can't say that I will be able to answer them all, but all I want to do is get you started. A start is better than doing nothing, because a person that don't want to save themselves, the fish are dying. The deer are getting waste disease. They're wasting away. All the animals are departing from the earth. All the systems are in breakdown. From the ecosystems in the water to on the land, in the air. It's just a matter of time before it reaches you people. It's just a matter of time. And I'm trying to plead to everybody who's conscious. Start getting the information. You can't get it from a book. You're not going to get it from the news. It's in you. Where you need to go, what you need to do is in you. You just got to go and get still and get it. You got to go get it. And only you can do that. I can't tell you to go get in your quiet time. You have to go and make that quiet time. We have a brother here also. His name is Yakanan. He wrote several books. And his last book is, what's the name of that book, brother?
The name, excuse me, brother. The name of it is COINTELPRO, Weapon of Mass Instruction. Applied Knowledge is Power.
Can you repeat that again for the listeners?
Yes. The book is entitled COINTELPRO, Weapon of Mass Instruction. Applied Knowledge is Power.
Applied knowledge is power. meaning that you have no power until you apply it. Now, you want to know more about meditations and how to change your spiritual vibration? It's not hard to find. But you won't find what I'm telling you about the 0 point of existence. You have to eliminate all thoughts out of your mind, out of your existence, and just be in the moment. Look in the moment. Look in the moment. Meaning that the darkness that you are in, wait for the light. Wait for it. Don't be so impatient. That show, that job, yeah, that job. It's not that important. It's not that important. They got you thinking that it's important to maintain a dead system. I'm trying to bring you people to life. I'm trying to bring my people to life. Brother, you talked about in your book, in one of the books, if I may, uh, the point of singularity. Now we have talked about that. Can you tell them how you view that point of singularity?
Well, brother teacher, actually, that's the main focus of my new book that's about to release in January. Singularity basically means oneness. See, the whole universe itself is one, and singularity is oneness with the Great Spirit, the universal prime creator. So we just call that Great Spirit in the Americas Yehovah, the breath that gives life to everything, not on just this earth, but everything in existence. And I like the way you talked about that 0 point, because that is a 0 point field where it's likened to the place of what carnal people call heaven. That's the place that the Great Spirit and all the energies, they seem to emanate from that 0 point field. So we want to be one with the Great Spirit.
Right, right. See, this awakening is happening, and this singularity will happen, whether we want it to or not. And singularity meaning everything becoming one within itself, meaning that if I cut your hand off, I just cut my foot off. Now this is what I saw in my ethereal travels, if I may. I was in the spirit in my meditations, and the place that I was in, everything was connected. If you sat in a chair, the chair and you were one body. If you leaned upon a tree, you and the tree were one body. It means that it was no different from you touching a finger on your body or touching your leg. The tree and your leg felt the same. If you cut off a limb of that tree, you just cut off your foot. If you destroy a portion of the any living thing, you have just destroyed a piece of yourself, because everything had reached the singularity, the oneness, meaning that everything was contained within itself. That's what the earth is going back to. That's what the earth is going back to. That singularity, that bliss, that heaven, as you may call it. So we're getting ready to kind of wind this down. And We didn't come to try to give all the information in one setting. It's too much to give. But I will try my best to lead you because I am T'Challa Teotihuacan. I am the medicine man of my tribe. I'm responsible for keeping the people healed, keeping their mind, body, and spirit healed and their chakras balanced. Therefore, I reach out to you and I will try to help as many as I possibly can before the regeneration occurs. But it's soon. I'm not going to say no data, but you just keep watching the earth. Nothing else. Watch the earth and what it does. And you will know your time is up.
Was that cool? Was that a good enough Christmas present for everybody? So one thing that I want you to remember when you listen to what this brother said is this: the earth is regenerating. The people of the earth are regenerating, and like you say, when you regenerate, a lot of people are not going to make it. You know, if you've been cooning for the past 30 years, you know it. Don't it's no trip. It won't be no love lost. You can come back and change that. But remember what he said: go into a dark spot, get face to face with yourself. And what you'll start to do, you'll start to get into your mother. You'll start to dig down through your grandmother, your great grandmother, your great grandma, your father's mother, your father's grandmother. You'll start to pick up all that information. That's what he's talking about. It's not just you. It's not about you. You were created by gods before you. That's your mom and daddy. That's your grandmom and granddaddy. That's what's being talked about. In every story you read, put yourself into it. Don't read no story and you're not a part of it. That's dumb. So listen, we wanted to share this brother with you. I'm gonna have him give you his contact information one more time. But seriously, leave all this bullshit alone. Get into yourself. Get into yourself.
Much peace and much love to all those conscious individuals out there. And I hope to see you on the other side. My information is TTTKHANCHO.O@gmail.com. I'm not doing all the Facebook and all that different kind of stuff because, hey, I'm cutting loose all of this nonsense. And so should you.
Cool. Okay. Well, listen, we're gonna end it now. One thing I want to mention about Memphis, as I go to these different cities, you know, certain cities exude a certain, you were saying it earlier, a certain vibration. And what I get from Memphis is always the blues, always that soul music, Al Green, Earth, Wind, and Fire, that type of vibe. So that's the kind of vibe this place has right here. We're right on the Mississippi River. It's a nice shot off the Mississippi River. We walk in distance to the Mississippi River. So these are the parts of the world that our people lived in that you have to know about. I mean, nobody gives a shit if you know about Kemet and all that other stuff. What do you know about the land of your ancestors? And when you ask the average Negro that, I don't, nobody told me. We never know shit. That shit got to end. You can't go over prepping, jumping on other people's ideologies and their beliefs, and you leave yours behind. Are you crazy? And many of us are. So those are the people who will be caught up in the regeneration. So understand that your people are talking to you because, like he said, you talking to yourself. You talking to yourself. So listen, we hope this was a good program for you. We tried to share some information for you that can be useful. If you can use it, please We'll see you next time.